music.
There is no terrible way to win. There is only winning.
We won't be out long.
Take your time. Track's all yours.
You ready? The name on the middle of that steering wheel should tell you that I was born ready. Hit it. Attaboy.
Let me drive. I won't make a fool out of you.
I got a message for all of them. Shake and bake.
What does that do? Does that blow your mind? That just happened.
These cars, you sit in a box, a coffin, gasoline all around you. It isn't like it being inside a bomb.
It's tough enough being a girl on the track. Living in my dad's shadow doesn't help much.
You have to be kind to the car. You feel the poor thing groaning underneath you.
No race was ever won in the first corner.
I'm gonna give you an engine, low to the ground, extra big oil pan will cut the wind from underneath you. That'll give you 30 to 40 more horsepower.
Every one of us has to find a reason to do this. You do it because you're driven.
Brakes are warm. Tires are warm.
I'll work in the cars and I'll drive and I'll eat and sleep and I'll work in the cars and I'll drive.
Damn fast, and when he runs it close together, it requires fantastic concentration and rather special skills.
I was beginning to think I'd never be anything more than a piston-happy lead-foot punk. Then this starts to happen.
If you're going to push a piece of machinery to the limit and expect it to hold together, you have to have some sense of where that limit is.
Besides, the best drivers don't dwell on the future or the past. The best drivers focus only on the present.
They could never have imagined it, those pioneers who invented the automobile, that it would possess us like this in our imaginations, our dreams.
I'm gonna give you a fuel line that will hold an extra gallon of gas. I'm gonna shave half an inch off you and shape you like a bullet.
Somebody put it in your mind you gotta be perfect every time out or you're a failure. Well, forget that. Just forget it.
Racing is in my blood.
I was put on this earth to race cars.
I accept every time I get in my car. There's 20% chance I could die, and I can live with it, but not 1% more.
No, Nicky, don't bring the percentages into this. Don't be a pro. The minute you do that, you kill what's good about this. You kill the sport.
And at that speed, your reactions can barely keep up with these sudden changes in direction.
You ready to put away your toys and grow up?
You want me to work the pit and you drive? Fine, we'll try that.
The car's a living, breathing thing, and she's alive.
If any of us imagined, really imagined, what it would be like to go into a tree at 150 miles an hour, we would probably never get into the cars at all. None of us.
Are you ready to become a real race car driver?
I am just as good as anybody out there on that track, and I don't need anybody to win my races for me.
I wish my daddy were alive to see this, to feel this.
And when we get you prime, painted, and weighed, you'll be ready to go out on that racetrack. You hear me? You're gonna be perfect.
You don't understand what happens, do you? They make 10,000 cars, they make them exactly the same way, and one or two of them turn out to be something special. Nobody knows why.
When I won it was probably the last time I ever felt pure victory.
So it has always seemed to me that to do something very dangerous requires a certain absence of imagination.
Because I'm quicker than all of you.
Soon you will know what it is like to be defeated by the hands of somebody who is truly better than you.
The only thing to do here is to drive just as fast as you know how and hope your car doesn't break.
And if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver.
If you ain't first, you're last.
There's 40 other vultures out there who managed to finish the race on their tires. You see Darrell Waltrip using up his tires?
There's nothing I can't do with a race car.
Oh, hell, isn't that what we're in this for? To stare death in the face and to cheat it? Come on, there's nobility in that. It's like being knights.
Sometimes you could swear the whole thing's falling to bits.
No pressure, nobody breathing down my back, just driving because I left it pure.
On the other hand, I suppose potential problems are in the back of your mind all the time.
So in many ways, I feel responsible for what happened. And
You were, but trust me, watching you win those races while I was fighting for my life, you were equally responsible for getting me back in the car.
You're so lucky. Sit there all closed in by machinery and bolts, precise things. There's hardly any room for you. It must be a nice, safe feeling.
Yeah, you gotta learn to trust something. Might just as well be the seat of your pants.
A lot of people go through life doing things badly. Racing's important to men who do it well. When you're racing, it's life. Anything that happens before or after, it's just waiting.
Well, we can drive. We can drive beyond the limits of the tires, the engine, the car, anything else.
Look out there. Out there is the perfect lap. No mistakes. Every gear change, every corner. Perfect. You see it.
I just hope when you do, that I'm there to see it.
Ask any racer, any real racer. It don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning.
But it isn't just business, is it? What we do. It's passion, love, which is why we are prepared to risk our lives for it.
Racing. That's the name of the game, isn't it? Win or lose, put up or shut up.
Why does everybody keep telling me what my problem is?
That you get so emotional.
You would never, ever say that to a guy.
If you don't leave your feelings off the track, you're never going to get what you want.
I'm a race driver, and I can win it on my we race?
Fine. Then let's race.
...2024. It's amazing, isn't it, how time flies? This year will be the 75th year of Formula One. 130 years of world motorsport, dating all the way back to the Paris to Rouen run of 1894. And it was on pretty much this exact spot back in 2012 that I first had the idea to talk about the stories of motorsport that nobody was really delving into, nobody was really exploring. That became Downforce UK, which then morphed into Downforce Radio. And it was in 2014, the very first time, that we decided to honour the British motor racing heroes over the course of one season. And this is the 10th running of the Downforce Awards. Now, our original plan was that we were going to be holding this event at Race Retro, but seeing as how February decided to flood that off, we're now at Houghton Park in Cheshire. Just over there is the headquarters of the Vauxhall Car Company. It seems very fitting that this part of the world should play host to celebrate the best of British, because this is very much the birthplace of what Downforce Radio has become. Of course, in the modern era, I'm really pleased that nowadays we have the patronage of a proper motoring legacy, a proper garage with proper motoring and motorsport credentials. Our friends and buddies down at Clapham North MOT.
Since 1960, generations of families have had their cars serviced with us. The Archers in Clapham North are now kept busy with servicing cars, MOTs, general tune-ups, steering and suspension, tyres and wheel services. We stock a range of competitively priced tyres, and the fitting includes balancing, tracking and the disposal of the tyre.
Hi, I'm Abby Eaton and you're listening to Downforce Radio.
It really does give me an immense amount of pride and satisfaction that Clapham North MOT, with all its history and legacy in motoring and motorsport, is part of the Downforce Radio family nowadays. And to celebrate that, you're going to be hearing from a few of the personalities that make up the British Racing and Sports Car Club Mazda MX-5 Super Cup, Championship and Clubman Championship paddock, the likes of Will Blackwell-Chambers, Nick Rutter and Aidan Hills. So keep an eye out for them over the course of the show, as well as from some of our previous award winners. But now, let's get on with the festivities.
Over the years, we've honoured some of the stars of British motorsport who've gone on to huge accolades. There's Luke Browning, who's just won the Macau Grand Prix and races at Bahrain this weekend in FIA Formula 3. Abby Pulling, who's now an F1 Academy and former W Series star. Dexter Patterson, who's become one of Scotland's hottest young BTCC stars. Alex Quinn, who set the fastest lap in class at last year's Daytona 24 Hours. Jemima Hepworth, who's been a front runner in the all-new McLaren Trophy. Deegan Fairclough, who's setting the world alight in British and UAE F4. And Jessica Edgar, who was a race winner in F1 Academy in 2023. For the 10th year, Downforce Radio is recognising and honouring the achievements of the best racers in British motorsport. So here are the nominees. Our International Racer of the Year award has some tough candidates. Macau Grand Prix winner Luke Browning, Moto2 race winner Jake Dixon, McLaren F1 star Lando Norris, Le Mans 24 Hours winner James Collado, rallying sensation Elfyn Evans, GT World Challenge star Nick Yellerly, F1 Academy racer Abby Pulling, and Formula E World Champion Jake Dennis. Our Dan Kirby National Racer of the Year nominees are incredible this year. BTCC legends Tom Ingram and Ash Sutton are head-to-head again. Four-time Isle of Man TT winner in 2023, Peter Hickman, as well as British GT champion Dan Harper. British truck racing champion Ryan Smith, British Superbike rivals Tommy Bridewell and Glenn Irwin are both in the mix, and Porsche Carrera Cup GB champion Adam Smalley completes the list. Our Overseas Racer of the Year celebrates competitors from abroad who have raced a full-time campaign in Britain. And what a selection of nominees we have. British GT and GT World Challenge stars Jules Gounod and Raffaele Marcello. GT4 British champion Eric Evans. BTCC rookie Daryl De Leon. The new British Rally champion Adrien Formeau. British Superbike racer Jason O'Halloran. GB3 vice champion Alex Dunn. And British F4 champion Louis Sharp. The Clapham North Team of the Year is hotly contested this season. The nominees are Ginetta GT3 and single-seater staples Elite Motorsport, TCR UK race winners Area Motorsport, single-seater junior ladder rival squads, Rodin Motorsport and High-Tech Grand Prix, both of whom have had epic seasons. The most improved team in Formula 1 this season, McLaren Racing. BTCC Teams Champion, Napa Racing UK. The BRSCC squad that runs everything from City Cup to Fun Cup, BPC Motorsport. And karting legends both here in the UK and Europe, Dan Holland Racing. The Zach Anderton Grassroots Racer of the Year celebrates the underdogs, the competitors at the grassroots levels of motorsport. This year's nominees are 1/5 scale RC champion of Craigavon, Lauren McCartney, Class 7 Autocross hero, Andy Holtby, Hill Climb champion and record breaker Wallace Menzies, up-and-coming rallycross sensation Abby McGuinness, British Slot Car Racing Open champion Martin Ellis, BLMRA Lawnmower Racing champion Alfie Smith, Autograss Racing star Jess Conway, and Vice World Champion in RC 1/12 spec, Mark Stiles. Now to the Martin Hines Kart Racer of the Year. Our nominees for 2023 are Miami Euro and World Final winner Kalai Atkins, FIA Karting's highest ranked driver of the year Lewis Werrell, British and UKC Rotax King Kai Hunter, Yami and Rotax superstar Macaulay Bishop, Yami Euro Junior winner Freddie Lloyd, British Academy Trophy racer Harry Bartle, British Yami X30 champion Gus Lawrence, and British Gearbox champion Morgan Porter. Our John Bateman Club Racer of the Year recognises the BRSCC's top club racing competitors, and this year the contenders are MX5 Clubman champion Matthew Fletcher, BMW Compact Cup champion Gareth Claydon, Fiesta ST240 champion Albert Webster, and the ST240 Club champion Morgan Kidd. Mazda MX5 Super Cup champion Aidan Hills, Formula Ford Festival winner Rory Smith, and City Car Cup champion Elliot Lettis, as well as MX5 Championship winner Steve Foden. For 2023 we have a new category, the Masters Racer of the Year for competitors over the age of 45. Our nominees are British GT and F4 Southeast Asia racer Ian Loggy, MX5 Super Cup Masters champion Nick Rutter, Fun Cup champion Chris Doval, TCR UK champion Carl Bordley, Club 100 star Tim Hill, Formula Ford Festival finalist Rick Morris, Daytona 24 Hours winner in GTD Ian James, and Formula 1 historic race winner Mark Hazel. Now for our two big prizes. We honour Kian Miller with our Under 13 Racer of the Year 2023, and our candidates are truly epic. FIA Road to World Cup winner Jesse Phillips, Alpine F1 young driver Sukmani Khera, British Micromax champion Emerson McAndrew Uren, Ovale 110 Mini GP champion Hudson Cooper, FIA Girls on Track finalist Bella Fairclough, Yami World Finals Mini X30 winner Will Green, British Honda Connect champion Ryan White, and Ultimate Karting champion Jacob Ashcroft. And finally, the Henry Surtees Teen Racer of the Year, awarded in 2023 for the 10th time. Former winners include Abby Pulling, Chloe Grant, and Luke Browning. So who are our nominees this year? Ginetta Junior Racer Alicia Parmowski, British Gearbox Karting Racer Ella Stevens, Radical Champion Theo Makuris, and F1 Academy race winner Jessica Edgar. British Talent Cup Champion Evan Belford, Ginetta Junior and KZ2 European Champion Freddie Slater, Formula 2 star and Haas F1 free practice driver Oliver Behrman, and Aston Martin Autosport Young Driver of the Year Joseph Loke. What an amazing array of racers.
My name's Nick Rutter and I drive car number 99 in the Clapham North MX5 Super Cup. I joined the Super Cup because it was recommended by a friend who raced in it. It's a fantastic combination of very, very competitive on track, fantastic camaraderie off track. It's an affordable series to get into. Fantastic cars, really robust cars, beautiful balance. I didn't come into racing till a little bit later in life, so I'm in the Masters. by the virtue of being over 45. I'm not going to say exactly how old I am. And it's been a fantastic experience to meet a load of like-minded people, but also drive with some very, very talented drivers at the front. So all in all, it's been a fantastic experience. And if you're looking for the premier MOT and service experience south of the river, there's only one name you've got to remember: Clapham North. How long are you going to be hammering for, Sam?
Hopefully, about 10 more seconds.
All right. Give us a shout when you're done with your hammering.
That's it, no more hammering.
Right.
Hi, I'm Bicycle Fisher and you're listening to Downforce Radio.
Some of these kids could well be motor racing legends one day. Now, before we actually get into the nitty-gritty of handing out the awards to the various winners, we have to start, rather sadly, on a somber note. We've had many investors, supporters and motivators over the course of these 12 years of broadcasting and podcasting. But midway through last year, we lost somebody that really took a personal toll on me. And it's one of the reasons why Downforce Radio has actually been quite quiet over the last 6 months or so. And for that, we'd like to apologise. So, coming into the 10th Downforce Radio Awards, we've actually renamed the National Racer of the Year award in remembrance of a particular character in the motorsport paddock who I personally, as well as many others, are going to miss massively.
This is the part of the job we really hate, and I have to confess it's been a very emotional one for me, as it's taken nearly 6 months to do this. In 2023, we lost a dear friend and supporter of Downforce Radio and everything it stands for. Dan Kirby was a talented racing driver, a passionate philanthropist, an excitable entrepreneur, and a keen sports enthusiast who just never seemed to stop excelling at everything he did. He knew where his limits were, but constantly sought to smash through them and deliver more. He and his brother built up the Trade Price Cars used automobile dealership in Wickford in Essex to a high-end service, partly to serve the community of East Anglia and partly to fund Dan's dream of racing. He was good at that too, having worked his way from the BMW Compact Cup for 2 seasons and up into the Michelin Clio Cup in partnership with Jade Developments, both in the world of club racing. He wasn't afraid to try new things and certainly found his path to motorsport open to a hungry and determined character such as himself. When he found the budget to race in the Ginetta Super Cup in 2017, there was no stopping him, and he was an instant success, with 6 AM-class podiums over the season. By this time, he was starting to toy with the notion of being a presence in the BTCC as a team owner, and he started to do business with Team Hard as a commercial partner, supporting Jake Hill. He had also by this point stepped up to the Porsche Carrera Cup GB and scored 2 AM podiums in his maiden season. He would race in both Ginetta and Porsche series in 2019, including scoring his maiden win in Ginetta at Donington Park on the 27th of April, a day I personally will never forget, as it was my birthday. When I called him to congratulate him, he responded, "You're the real winner, mate. You're the birthday boy." He loved sharing triumphs, no matter how small, with everyone he knew. During 2019, he joined forces with AMD and MB Motorsport to give Le Mans winner and Champ Cars and Formula One star Mark Blundell his maiden outing in the BTCC, scoring points on his debut. You could always say Dan didn't do things by halves. The jubilation was not far away as Jake Hill grabbed his and the team's first win in the BTCC in Race 3 at Knock Hill. It was a wonderful moment and a true sense of achievement for dear Dan. In 2020, COVID didn't prevent him from making his switch to the new TCR UK Championship, where he raced avidly right the way up until 2023 as a race winner. Aware of the fact that he didn't quite have the tenacity, budget, or driving acumen yet for BTCC, he made sure to give everything to his TCR UK endeavours. In British Touring Cars, the team were now supporting Bobby Thompson and James Gornall, and in 2021 he joined forces with Accelerate to push Tom Ingram forward in his bid for the title. It took them 2 seasons, but they finally got the job done in 2022, as Tom Ingram and the team became British Touring Car champions. A decade of hard work finally rewarded for Dan Kirby and the boys at Trade Price Cars. The countless awards won by the dealership and Dan's success on track as a driver in TCR UK and as a team sponsor in the BTCC will not be what I remember him for, nor even will his support of Southend United or Chelmsford City FC as a passionate football fan. It'll be his quiet yet strong will to succeed, his visionary and driven approach, but also his kind and compassionate nature. Even if something wasn't necessarily a financial masterstroke, if it meant supporting a friend or a business in need, he was quick to find a solution. Dan Kirby was a champion of the small-time venture, a warrior in adversity, and a dedicated sportsman and motoring enthusiast with a thirst for adrenaline. A true motor racing Del Boy, his favourite TV character. And I personally cannot quite believe he's gone. Downforce Radio will always remember him as a great racer, a kind gentleman, and a fabulous entrepreneur, who will never be forgotten by those who knew him, and will always bring not only a tear, but also a beaming smile. Rest in peace, Daniel Kirby.
Godspeed, Dan. We miss you, and you'll forever be a part of Downforce Radio and its legacy. Thank you so much for everything you gave us. On that note, we're going to begin our Downforce Radio Awards ceremony, starting with our special awards. These were chosen by the Downforce Radio team of journalists, commentators, and panelists, and we really believe that these guys deserve recognition for all their hard work through the 2023 motorsport season. So, let's go.
We honour members of our Hall of Fame each year, and in 2023 we have elected to immortalise 2 stars of off-road racing who sadly passed away this year. Gymkhana star Ken Block and World Rally winner Craig Breen. We miss both competitors very dearly indeed and wish to remember them in the best fashion we can muster. So, whenever we see rallying and rallycross, always we will think of Ken and Craig. This year we couldn't choose between 2 candidates for our People's Champion, so we've named joint winners. Nicholas Hamilton for his heroic season in the British Touring Car Championship and becoming the first driver with cerebral palsy in the series history to score a top 6 finish at Donington Park last spring. And alongside him, we recognised the hard work and determination of Thomas Potter, kart racer and anti-bullying campaigner who raises awareness for good causes through the graphics kits he races with in club karting events across the country. We need more men like Nicholas and Thomas in this sport and hope to tell you their stories in detail in 2024. This year, our Pride of Ireland award goes to Christian Coby, a talented young kart racer who has just emerged from winning the Irish National Cadet title to taking the Miami Euro and World Finals by storm in only his maiden international season. Expect big things from this young lad, as his stock is only going to rise. Our annual National Autistic Society honour is presented to Charlie King, who has been racing solidly with the X-Kart chassis team based out of Rochdale, and the Swindon-based teenager has been excelling and gaining strength and confidence whilst adapting to karting, living with autism. We salute his journey and hope to support him moving forward. Our Marshal of the Year is John Edwards, National Secretary of the British Motorsport Marshals Club, a man who is always on hand to help and support anyone who requires assistance, be they new recruit or seasoned veteran. Nothing is too much time, trouble or effort for John, and we celebrate his commitment to motorsport in the time-honoured fashion. Finally, who's our Commentator of the Year? Well, in the world of esports, Jessica Ball has been gaining a solid reputation for energy, charisma and passion in the Formula 1 esports scene, and we can't wait to see how she continues on as she blazes a trail for female commentators in motorsport, and we hope many more follow in her footsteps. Congratulations to all our special award winners for 2023.
Hi, my name's Blackwell-Chambers, current reigning champion of the MX5 Super Cup. Just going to run you through a little bit of history and sort of what I've done over the years. I was quite lucky. My dad got me in a kart when I was about 11ish. Did karting for about 6 or 7 years, picked up a club championship along the way, and then I moved into cars in the Mazda MX-5 Mark 1 series, which is a really good feeder series to get you up into these Mark 3 race cars. Over the years of doing that, I won that championship twice with the BRSCC and once with the 750 Motor Club in a row. So that was quite a career highlight. And then we sort of made a move up to the big boys racing in the Mark 3 series. Had a learning year, and then we actually won the championship last year. This year's been a little bit more of a tricky one, but it's still as fun as ever, and it's brilliant to be out on track. So generally, from the beginning of a week, what I'll try and do is, if it's available, we'll be on the simulator. iRacing, fantastic platform. We're able to sort of get on that. It's got most of the UK circuits in it modelled these days, so I'll spend some hours on the simulator trying to, get to grips with the circuit and figure out where we're going. We'll get to the track on Friday, get in the fantastic liveried Clapham North MX5 Mark 1 Super Cup, and we'll have our 4 sessions on Friday, just trying to build on the setup, making sure we're getting the car in the bracket we need it for the weekend. And that leads us to Saturday qualifying when the game really begins. To be honest, get a bit nervous for qualifying. It's an awful lot of work to do, and an awful lot of the weekend relies on those results. So we'll do the best we can. Normally, Rob Boston Racing and the Clapham North car's pretty quick, so we tend to be where we need to be at the front, and that'll set us up for race 1. From there, it's anybody's game. Try and keep it on the circuit, get as far forward as possible, and see how the weekend goes from there. So when we're racing, I must admit, it all starts when we get down to Parc Fermé. That's when the nerves start building. That's when you're starting to prep yourself for getting in the car. Everyone's kind of wandering around having a chat, trying to keep ourselves relaxed, but it never seems to work. You end up then getting your balaclava and your helmet on and get strapped in. That's when the prep work really starts. Generally, I'll sit there and I'll try and visualise the circuit in my head and sort of plan out the first couple corners. We'll then head out for the warming up lap, get the car ready, make sure all the gauges are reading correctly, get the tyres up to temperature, and then you pull up to the lights for the start of the race. And this is where it's absolutely critical to control your nerves as much as possible. You're generally sitting there buzzing slightly, trying to keep it all under control. 5-second board comes out, and that's when, generally for me, I think I'm quite lucky, I kind of enter quite a calm state, because that's when it's all about to kick off and start for real. So from about the 5-second board coming out, the first lights come on, that's when I start to relax. And then it's all the lights on, lights out, and away we go. And it's just trying to keep calm in that first lap, making clear decisions to get us through the pack, make sure that our overtakes stick and we're not causing any damage, and that everyone gets through cleanly. And as always, I've got to thank Clapham North and Hydro Race for their massive support this year. Without them, we really wouldn't be on the track. Again, big thanks to the BRSCC for putting on this series in the Super Cup. It's probably one of the best series in the country, if not the best series. It's incredibly competitive, incredibly hard. It's good, cost-effective racing, and there's really nothing that can match it out there.
60 years of expertise in MOT and servicing. Why should you choose this particular place? Well, there's a few different reasons. Not only is there specific places for tyre fitting and balancing, depending on what kind of needs you're after, but there's also repairs and servicing, and everything from the small jobs to the big workhorse solutions. And of course, MOTs while you wait. Anything from the small pocket rocket, electric town runabout, all the way through to your family motor trusty steam. And with 60 years of expertise and Formula One engineering prowess coming from this very garage in the shape of the likes of Patrick Head and John Barnard, who've been here since their early days, there's not really much about the world of motoring and motorcycles that these guys don't know. Whatever your needs, Clapham North, the boys to find and the boys to call. Modern service, traditional values.
Hi everyone, I'm Bradley Smith and you're listening to Downforce Radio.
Our first 2 prizes in the Downforce Radio Awards go to the International and National Racers of the Year. Now, the main 10 categories that you're about to see have all been nominated for by members of the Downforce Radio team, friends and family of the channel, and voted for by you, the general public. Our voting went live during the course of December, and over the festive season, you guys got the chance to vote, and you did, in your thousands. We are so grateful. And of course, when voting closed, we finally had our 10 worthy winners, and you're about to find out every single one of them. And we'll start with the International and National Racers of the Year.
Well, folks, the waiting's over. Let's get cracking. The International Racer of the Year nominees once again are Luke Browning, James Collado, Jake Dennis, Jake Dixon, Elfyn Evans, Lando Norris, Abby Pulling, and Nick Yellerly. And your winner is Lando Norris. We wish the McLaren F1 driver all the best for the 2024 Grand Prix season. The Dan Kirby National Racer of the Year nominees are Tommy Bridewell, Dan Harper, Peter Hickman, Tom Ingram, Glenn Irwin, Adam Smalley, Ryan Smith, and Ash Sutton. And your winner is Ash Sutton, reigning and now 4-time British Touring Car Champion. We wish him a happy and prosperous 2024 season with Napa Racing UK.
Hi, my name is Skye Parker. I'm 13 years old, and in 2018 I was the winner of Downforce Radio's Under 13 Race of the Year award, dedicated to the memory of young motorsport star from Scotland, Keir Miller. When I was nominated for this award, I was quite literally speechless. I wasn't expecting to win as I was only young, but it was an absolute honour to receive it, and it certainly boosted my confidence. Today I'm racing at the pinnacle of karting. I race internationally with two-time world champions DPK Racing in the OK Junior category, and at home in the UK I race with Argenti Motorsport in the Junior Exotic category. Since winning the award, I'm now amongst the best racers in the world.
Hi, I'm Aidan Hills, racer of the number 8 Mazda MX-5 Super Cup car. Currently leading the championship, and it's been a long road to get here really. I started racing when I was 9 years old. Started because my dad raced, and so did my granddad before that, so that really got me into motorsport. My dad bought me a go-kart when I was about 8 and then started racing when I was 9. So did a bit of karting, won a British Open Championship when I was 11, and then moved into Rallycross and won the Junior Rallycross Championship. And then came into these Mazdas when I was 21, and done a little bit of Ginetta racing as well, but this year really concentrated fully on racing this Mazda and seeing what we can do. And it's been a good year so far. 10 wins at this point with 6 races left to go, and a nice lead in the championship, but anything can happen, can't it? Yeah, so a little bit about the team as well. Hills Motorsport's a team that I started with my dad back in 2019. We had James Cousins was our first customer, and now we've ended up just growing the team to having 5 or 6 cars on most race weekends, which is, it's great. And we've got a great team behind us and a lot of good engineers and good people and good mechanics and good coaches that have really pushed us on and made it a good stepping ground for these lads who want to move into go and race other stuff as well. So when I'm on the grid, before a race, it's sort of the only thing you're really thinking about is getting off the line and getting a good start. That's ultimately the first few things you think about, and then once you're in the race and you settle down, I don't really think about a lot. I just try and concentrate on hitting my marks and making sure that, especially if you're leading, just hitting your marks and making sure you're braking in the same place, every gear change is right, and managing what the traffic behind are doing. When you've driven a car a lot, like I've driven these cars for 6-7 years, I don't have to really think about driving the car. It's more about thinking about how to beat my opponents and how to outsmart them, hopefully, when you're out on the grid. When you win a race, there's no real better feeling. It depends how the race goes. If it's a really close race and you've been hounded the whole race, when you come across the line, it's more of a relief. Like a release of emotions and like so much joy. Something that you can't substitute, like going out with your mates or anything. Nothing comes close to winning a race and leading a race. If you've led a race and had a nice dominant race where you've pulled away a bit, it's a bit of a different feeling. It's more like, that was good, that was nice. But I like a race where it's like really, really close and there's 4 or 5 cars around that could win the race, and if you come out on top of that, that's like a massive release of adrenaline and everything. You can't beat it. To race in this Mazda Championship, it's the first round this year we had 49 cars on the grid. Although it's club racing, the budget's club racing, the drivers in the grid and the teams, it's very much like national motorsport. It's nice, cheap, good budget, but the racing's unbelievable. It doesn't matter whether you're leading, whether you're 10th, whether you're 30th or 40th on the grid, you'll be racing against someone, you'll be learning. And it's a rear-wheel drive car to start with, which not many club racing race cars are rear-wheel drive, so to learn a proper, rear-wheel drive car, to race with some real top quality drivers that have raced at very high level and come still back to race Mazdas because it's so good. And I just don't think you can beat it. The cars are so nice to drive, and massive thanks to George and Clapham North for sponsoring the championship for so long and making it what it is. Without people like George backing us, the championship would never be as good as it is.
Hi, I'm Landon Norris, and you're listening to Downforce Radio.
Our next categories in the Downforce Radio Awards 2023 are for the Overseas and Grassroots Races of the Year, as well as the very special Clapham North Team of the Year.
The Overseas Racer of the Year nominees are Daryl DeLeon, Alex Dunn, Eric Evans, Adrian Formeau, Jules Gounon, Raffaele Marcello, Jason O'Halloran and Louis Sharp. And your winner is... Louis Sharp of Australia. We salute the British F4 champion and hope he has a fantastic season in GB3 in 2024. The Clapham North Team of the Year nominees are Area Motorsport, BPC Motorsport, Dan Holland Racing, Elite Motorsport, High Tech Grand Prix, McLaren Racing, Napa Racing UK and Rodin Motorsport. And your winner is McLaren Racing. Their turnaround in Formula 1 last year really inspired you all, and now we all hope that in 2024 there could even be a win or two. The Zach Anderton Grassroots Racer of the Year nominees are Josh Bryant, Jess Conway, Andy Holtby, Lauren McCartney, Abby McGuinness, Wallace Menzies, Alfie Smith and Mark Stiles. And your winner is Jess Conway. The ladies class autocross champion should have another amazing season of racing to look forward to, and we can't wait for more victories coming her way.
Hi everyone, I'm Jess Edgar and I won the Downforce Radio Team Racer of the Year award in 2019. I was racing in Mini X30 at the time and the award meant a lot to me and definitely gave me a big confidence boost moving into juniors. Since then I did GB4 last year and I raced in F1 Academy this year. And I'd like to thank everyone for their support that they've given me through my karting career and moving into cars now.
We'll take you as close to motorsport as you can get.
Oh, devastating, surely not.
We'll chat to the superstars of the sport from Formula 1 and beyond in Meet the Grid.
What's tougher, being a Formula 1 driver or being a racing dad?
Mother of Miss Brazil, Miss England, Miss Universe are disasters.
I'm a bit pissed off with Cook because he had no right to be involved in what he was doing. Right. And that's okay. You know, when your ego's up like his is, then you make some shit choices.
I'll take you behind the scenes of motorsport in Jake's Take.
Drivers in, Cobb's corner.
We'll delve into the history of motorsport with 130 years of stories. I show you how you can start racing yourself.
Getting ready for my first ever race weekend in anything at all ever.
You'll be given the chance to relive some classic motorsport moments.
It's going to be 3 wide to the braking zone. They bang wheels the BHM teammates. Who's that trying to break through the second? Up in the air. We've got a couple of drivers rolling. Oh my goodness. Sarah Moore, she wins at Madras International Circuit. She wins. I can't believe it.
We explore motorsport in Hollywood in Fast Flicks. We'll give you the chance to become a motorsport commentator. Let's go! Great start from our pole sitter. Nikhil Bora gets a beautiful launch. Aidan Neat does as well. So no problems at all for those two. And we'll even commentate on a few things that aren't motorsport at all.
It's coming up and we're up and away! Charge!
And there's more great racing action to come from the Retro Racing Managers League. And there'll be a bit more esports action to come. And if that's not enough, I drive some really fast machinery.
So tough if you're not used to driving a two-stroke.
And I'll be driven in some even faster.
We've got a Cooper that we've got to overtake. Oh my goodness.
Plus, I fall off a bucking Bronco. And I eat some chocolate.
Goodness me, that's strong. No doubting the flavouring.
May the downforce be with you. You didn't know that.
Hello, my name is Kacper Tomalewski. I had the honor of being Driver of the Year 2020. I would like to wish good luck to all of this year's nominees because I know how great this award is and how it can help your future career. Good luck.
Hi, I'm Matt Neal and you're listening to Downforce Radio.
Now it's time for us to recognise 3 very different types of racer. The karting racer, the club racer, and the brand new Masters Racers of the Year for 2023. So one more time, here are the nominees, followed by the winners.
The Martin Hines Kart Racer of the Year nominees are Kalai Atkins, Harry Bartle, Macaulay Bishop, Kai Hunter, Gus Lawrence, Freddie Lloyd, Morgan Porter, and Lewis Werrell. And your winner is Freddie Lloyd, Miami Euro Junior Champion. There's more epic racecraft to come from the young star, and we wish 2024 to be full of silverware in the Lloyd household. The John Bateman Club Racer of the Year nominees are Gareth Claydon, Matthew Fletcher, Steve Foden, Aidan Hills, Morgan Kidd, Elliot Lettis, Rory Smith, and Albert Webster. And your winner is Morgan Kidd, who has successfully stepped out of karting to become a car racing champion, and we hope it's the first of many titles on her way to superstardom. The Masters Racer of the Year nominees are Carl Bordley, Chris Doval, Mark Hazel, Tim Hill, Ian James, Ian Loggy, Rick Morris, and Nick Rutter. And your winner is Carl Bordley, the new TCR UK champion, and we hope he can defend his crown in 2024 and excel over a brilliant British motorsport season.
Hi guys, how's it going? Dexter Patterson here. Just want to say a big congratulations to all the nominees and what will be the winners of this year's Downforce Radio Awards. I was lucky enough to win it in 2016, which was the Keir Miller Under-13s Award, which was a real big privilege to me and my family, and a great achievement to add to my CV, which definitely opened some big doors in my karting career and now into racing British touring cars. So just want to say a big congratulations to all the nominees, and best of luck for 2024 to everyone. Cheers.
I still love karting and I always will. Now, a lot of people ask me at this time of year, what it is that I'm going to be covering and what is Downforce Radio going to be doing over the course of the year? Well, I'm delighted to say that both myself and Downforce Radio are going to be very, very busy. So let's have a look at what I'll be talking about and what Downforce Radio will be covering.
This year, you can hear my dulcet tones on the Stock Car Pro Brazil Championship, kickstarting this weekend on Motorsport TV Premium, featuring Rubens Barrichello, Felipe Massa, and Nelson Piquet Jr. There'll be plenty of club racing action on Downforce Radio this year as I follow the paddock of the British Racing and Sports Car Club, go behind the scenes, and meet some fantastic talent. Japan is the home to the Super GT category, where Nissan, Toyota, and Honda go head-to-head for the GT500 crown. And myself and Jamie Klein will be in the commentary box once again for Motorsport TV. You'll also find us guiding you through Super Formula on the same channel. Super Formula is the single-seater series that gave Liam Lawson the chance to make his Formula 1 debut last year, and we can't wait to see who'll become champion in 2024. I'll also be the voice of Euro Cup 3 and Spanish F4 on YouTube as the young contenders step out of karting into single-seaters for the first time and work their way up the Formula 1 ladder. I'll return to bike racing as the British Mini Bikes Championship continues in earnest on YouTube, and I'm very excited about seeing the next MotoGP stars of Great Britain in action. Plus, you can't kick the voice of karting out of karting that easily. I'll still be working with Miami as the international voice of the Asia Series and the Nordic Cup in Norway. I'll still be showcasing the rental karting stars in both the Champion Cup Kart in Lignano in Italy, live on Motorsport TV, and the fantastic British scene at Daytona Motorsport at Milton Keynes, Tamworth, and Sandown Park. And I'll also be the voice of the Ultimate Karting Championship for selected events and the UK Kart Series, as both paddocks travel across the country. The legendary British Lawnmower Racing Association will once more host the annual 12-hour race in August at Wisborough Green, and I will be there once more, celebrating my 10th year affiliated with the club. And that's not all. You'll also find me at the Drivers Inn at Cops Corner during the biggest event in our nation's motorsport scene, the British Grand Prix. Plus, there's a whole host of further events still to be announced. You can also go back and check out the brilliant season that's just wrapped over in the United Arab Emirates for both the Formula Regional Middle East and the F4 UAE Championships on YouTube and Motorsport TV. Well then, I hear you ask, what can you expect from Downforce Radio in 2024? Well, we'll be rebooting and revamping over the spring, ready for a new website, a new look, and even new apps on iOS and Android, and we can't wait to share them with you when it all goes live in April. We continue our affiliation with The Race, and you'll hear the latest podcasts regarding Formula 1, IndyCar, MotoGP and Formula E, as well as all the latest tech speak from the Grand Prix paddock. You'll have plenty of F1 chatter and banter from F1 Weekly, Sector 1 and across the pond, with interesting interviews, debates and discussions as the 2024 season unfolds. Then there's the holy trilogy of racing chatter. Rebecca Jackson, Alex Goldschmidt, and yours truly will be filling your airways with interesting chat and discussion as we talk to people that motivate and inspire us in motorsport and beyond. We delve into the past with 3 epic retro shows. Bring Back V10s, the chat show about Formula 1's V10 era. Spinning Wheels with Paul Woodford and Guy Smith, talking to legends past and present. And the Birmingham Super Prix podcast, where I reminisce about the great race on the streets of Birmingham. The automotive world will be an open playground as we take on 2 American shows, Cars Without Sausage, hosted by Giuliana Chiaviti, and The Drive with Alan Taylor. Expect lots of car banter, news and insight from 2 of America's finest motoring analysts. Want to get into the sport yourself? Well, you can. Racing Mentor with Jessica Shanahan tells you all you need to know about how to become a racing driver and how to fund yourself through the journey. Track Talks by The Pass will meet up with the karting heroes you don't know and the ones you will. And the F1 in Schools podcast, hosted by Tom Deacon, will explore the F1 engineers of tomorrow, studying and learning on their journey to glory. Also, we have some fantastic specialist shows. The Sighting Lap with Lauren Alexander, exploring MotoGP and World Superbikes. Blind Spotting, the NASCAR podcast by fans for fans. Caged Full Throttle, an exciting trip through the short oval banger racing scene. And the Feeder Series podcast, where you'll meet the F1 stars of tomorrow and find out who's doing what from Formula 2 to Formula 4. Finally, your chance to indulge your inner nerd as our final hat trick of shows. Wheel Nuts, where you can test your trivia knowledge of motorsport, Fast Flicks, and exploration through the world of motorsport in Hollywood, and Laughing Gear, the comedy show that rips motoring and motorsport to shreds until your funny bone can't take any more. It'll give you plenty to listen to in 2024. There'll be plenty of live coverage, great interviews and news updates along the way. So stay tuned and subscribe to us on social media at Downforce Radio and get ready to download our new apps to your devices launching in the spring. And listen to us whether you're on the road, in the garage or at the track.
As winter's chill sets in, remember it can freeze more than just your toes. It can cripple your car too. At Clapham North MOT, we're dedicated to keeping you moving. Ensure your vehicle's antifreeze is topped up with our expert service to prevent engine frostbite. Stay safe and warm on the road this winter season with Clapham North MOT. Tyre pressure and tread depth are your keys to safe winter travels. Don't forget to give your battery a checkup. Cold can be cruel to its lifespan. And remember, an emergency kit with blankets, a shovel and de-icer can be a lifesaver. Keep your wheels turning this winter or swing by Clapham North MOT for a helping hand.
Hi, I'm Nicholas Atifi and you're listening to Downforce Radio.
Congratulations to our winners so far, all of which have been very deserving indeed. But now we come to the big moment. This is the pair of awards that always get the biggest attention, the biggest accolades and the biggest headlines in the British motorsport scene. And we have nominated some amazing racers. It was up to you to choose who the winners would be in 2023. And now we can finally announce who our winners are for the Keir Miller Under 13 and the Henry Surtees Teen Racers of the Year. Without further ado, let's make the big announcement.
Now for our 2 biggest prizes. The Keir Miller Under 13 Racer of the Year nominees are Jacob Ashcroft, Hudson Cooper, Bella Fairclough, Will Green, Sukhmani Khera, Emerson McAndrew Uren, Jesse Phillips and Ryan White. And your 10th Keir Miller Under 13 Racer of the Year winner is Bella Fairclough, UKC winner and FIA Girls on Track finalist. We hope she'll be back in Ferrari Red in the near future and that there's plenty more trophies going her way in 2024 and beyond. And last but by no means least, the Henry Surtees Teen Racer of the Year nominees are Oliver Behrman, Evan Belford, Jessica Edgar, Joseph Loke, Theo Makuris, Alicia Parmowski, Freddie Slater and Ella Stevens. And your 10th Henry Surtees Teen Racer of the Year winner is Ella Stevens, the British gearbox karting sensation. Under the tutelage of Alice Powell, we really hope she soon gets her shot in single-seaters. And who knows, maybe we'll see her storm all the way to Formula One someday. Good luck, Ella, and congratulations to all of our award winners.
Well, the public voted, they've made their voices heard, and we are delighted to announce that our winners of the Keir Miller Under-13 and Henry Surtees Teen Racer of the Year are Bella Fairclough and Ella Stevens, two fabulous young female racers who we cannot wait to see climb the motorsport ladder. And on that note, I think it's time to end. Thank you very much indeed for watching. We can't wait to see you throughout the whole of the 2024 season. And don't worry, Downforce Radio will still be the voice of British motorsport. If it's fast, we're first. See you soon.
There is no terrible way to win. There is only winning.
Let me drive. I will make a fool out of you.
Every one of us has to find a reason to do this. You do it because you're driven.
I was beginning to think I'd never be anything more than a piston-happy, lead-foot punk. Then this starts to happen.
Somebody put it in your mind you gotta be perfect every time out or you're a failure. Well, forget that. Just forget it.
You ready to put away your toys and grow up? Are you ready to make more money in 1 year than your father made in his whole life? Are you ready to become a real race car driver?
When I won it was probably the last time I ever felt pure victory.
Because I'm quicker than all of you.
And if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver.
But hell, isn't that what we're in this for? To stare death in the face and to cheat it? Hey, come on, there's nobility in that. It's like being knights.
No pressure. Nobody breathing down my back, just driving because I left it pure.
A lot of people go through life doing things bad. Racing's important when they do it well. In racing, it's life. Anything that happens before or after, just waiting.
I just hope when you do, that I'm there to see.
Racing. That's the name of the game, isn't it? Win or lose, put up a show.
Fine. Then let's race.
Hi, I'm Landon Norris, and you're listening to Downforce Radio.